my channel. I would like to wish everyone a very wonderful, happy Chanukah. This is the Festival of Lights, and I'm so excited to speak about the next topic. Before we jump straight into the next video, please make sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below, and turn on the bell for post notifications. I really appreciate people stopping by and watching my videos, and let's jump straight into the next topic. I would like to begin by discussing the main source of Chanukah, which is not thoroughly discussed. Perhaps in a different time, the historic details. Let us begin. The Greeks' culture were philosophers. They accepted the Torah as a book of knowledge, but not as something holy that connects us to God. It wasn't the Jewish traditions and law that bothered them, but rather the complete, unshakable, irrational submission to a single, invisible, indivisible God. It was the fact that this nation delighted in something in the physical only when used for a tool for doing something holy, rather than being focused on bodily pleasure and needs. Let me give an example. Money. Money can be used for a tool and causes great delight for the Jewish people when we spend it to do God's commandments. If it's buying holy objects, if it's buying food to sustain our bodies to serve God better, if it's for a godly purpose, not money to spend it on nonsense things or things that will not have an eternal effect, without even discussing things that are not even good for our souls. And yet, at the same time, vast majority of Jews assimilated to the Greek culture and lifestyle. They exchanged God and godliness for bodily pleasure, which affected their souls and their connection to God greatly. Even though a certain percentage of the Jews did assimilate, it was not enough for the Greeks. They felt that even the book knowledge, the Jewish traditions, were still connecting the Jews to their Creator in some form, small way. And in the end, they made Torah learning illegal, outlawed the commandments like keeping the Shabbos, circumcision, and the holiness of a Jewish marriage. God, however, wouldn't allow his entire people to go to a spiritual ruination. The enemy's plan fell apart because a core group of Jews, the Hashmonaim family of priests, who remained in touch with their essence. This small band were famously known as the Maccabim. The Greeks were mighty in body and they outnumbered the Jews, but the Maccabim came with the force of the eternal bond in God. They were God's representatives, which God shone through them. From the Maccabim, the Greeks made another discovery. They found that a Jew is submissive to God not through rational choice, but rather due to essential and a natural bond. And thus the Maccabim risked their lives to keep the Torah alive. This is why they won the war. By Chanukah, it was spiritual anti-Semitism. There are two types of anti-Semitism: spiritual anti-Semitism and physical anti-Semitism. Physical anti-Semitism we are a lot more aware of, which is the fact that a Jew exists and the hatred towards a Jew. Spiritual anti-Semitism, what is the source root? What is this connection to God that is keeping the Jewish spirit alive? What is this? And this, the Greeks, the mighty Greeks, they wanted to destroy God's essence in a Jewish soul. This is the root core of Chanukah. How does this apply to us today? Unfortunately, amongst our own, we are faced with a huge spiritual war going on. We can learn Torah today. We can do the commandments today. But where is God? Why are certain people deliberately out there to ruin souls? And we are talking about supposedly orthodox, frum people. How orthodox you are by the way you dress has nothing what to do with who you are. Who are you? There are problems in the communities too horrific to describe and elaborate at the moment. But the desecration of God's name is enormous. Question is, was God in the person's life all along? Or was it just a costume show? What is this? The more orthodox you look, the status you have can a lot of times be totally the opposite of who you are inside. Why? Why this double life? In Hasidus, it speaks about God doesn't allow liars to remain liars. The truth automatically and eventually comes out. God doesn't allow you to use His name, or for the sake of His name, to cover up your mask, false, individual self. And to top it off, you're imposing your lifestyle on others. The Maccabim group today, personally, there aren't too many and very little left. But I'm seeing more and more from an early age, children are being misled by their elders to sell their souls to the devil. God sees and knows everything. Where is your faith? Where is your belief? God knows if a person has a double life. Who are you kidding? But a lot of people, on purpose, weren't brought up with to hold on to this eternal bond with God, or they decided to give up their faith soon as marriageable age walks in. Does it pay to give up on God for the sake of marriage? Just like the Greeks. It only went worse from there. If you don't have God in your marriage because you gave up on Him, what kind of marriage do you have? What kind of life will you have? Without God, history does repeat itself. Why can't people learn from our history? And then people wonder why they have problems in their lives? Did you cause it? Was it your own selfish wrongdoing? Was it because you forgot about your Creator? That God had to send you a problem, a wake-up call that you should return to Him? Why does it take people to face a tragedy for us to be united and remember our Creator? Why does it take for us to reach our last breaths on this earth and then we ask God for help? Where was God till now? The living with God, the soul bond connection to Him is slowly extinguishing. We have to remember, physical goes away, but our spirit will remain forever. What we leave to our descendants, if it's only materialistic matters that mattered, that's what our descendants will engrave. And if it's the spiritual spirit and connection to God, and doing everything to preserve and hold our faith, that will remain for eternity. And for those people out there who are still fighting, keep on fighting. Not too many people are going to encourage this, but give it all you've got. Keep God living within you, not for status and not for namesake, but for the eternal connection bond with God that made the miracle of Chanukah last forever. And that will be passed down to our own descendants for all of eternity. Just remember, the key to success in your life is first believing in yourself. See you in the next one.